I thought I had a time management problem. I told myself I just needed a better system, a better app, maybe a better morning routine. I watched videos about hacks and read articles on deep work. But every night I still found myself staring at the ceiling with a sinking feeling in my chest. That quiet panic of another day lost, another plan abandoned, another page left blank. At some point, I had to admit something that scared me more than failure. I wasn't lazy. I was afraid. And Søren Kierkegaard, a 19th century Danish philosopher, said something that stuck with me. Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. Freedom. That was the problem. Not distraction, not laziness. I wasn't drowning in tasks. I was drowning in possibility. And every possibility was a weight I didn't know how to carry. Kierkegaard understood this long before social media, before productivity gurus, before burnout became a buzzword. He saw that we don't put things off because they're hard. We put them off because they matter. Because the moment we act, we collapse infinite potential into a single, irreversible reality. And that's terrifying. So we wait. We scroll. We clean our rooms, rewrite our to-do lists, organize our desktops, all while quietly running from the raw truth of being alive and responsible for what we choose to become. But the more we run, the heavier it gets. And no system, no calendar, no Pomodoro timer can save you from the silence that eventually finds you. Kierkegaard divided life into stages. And most of us, without knowing it, live in what he called the aesthetic stage. It's a life built on pleasure, on distraction, on aesthetic surface. We don't want to commit, not really. We keep things open-ended, optional. We romanticize potential instead of becoming something real. I've lived there. I still do sometimes. You tell yourself you're keeping your options open, that you're waiting for the right moment, but what you're really doing is postponing your own existence. You're stuck in the loop of what could be. Because becoming something concrete means losing everything else you could have been. But Kierkegaard warned us, the aesthetic life eventually collapses under its own weight. You start to feel the emptiness creep in. The distractions don't hit like they used to. Netflix, dopamine hits, endless scrolling. It starts to feel like noise. And in the silence, a deeper question rises. Who am I when I'm no longer hiding? It's not procrastination that's killing your spirit. It's self-abandonment. You know what you want to become. You know what you need to do. But you've made a habit of ignoring that quiet voice because it doesn't scream, it whispers, and it asks for everything. This is the existential weight Kierkegaard wrote about, not in theory, but in his bones. He lived with dread, anxiety, the fear of not becoming who he was meant to be. And he didn't sugarcoat it. He said, if you truly want to live, you must choose. Not just once, every day, even when it breaks you. There will never be a perfect moment. The fear will never go away. Kierkegaard didn't offer comfort. He offered a challenge, the leap of faith. It's not about religion, not exactly. It's about the courage to act without guarantee, to move forward while still afraid, to write the first sentence not knowing how the chapter ends, to apply for the job, to build the thing, to become the person, even when the outcome is uncertain. This leap isn't dramatic. It's quiet, sometimes invisible. It's choosing to sit with the discomfort instead of numbing it. It's choosing 5 minutes of focused, honest effort. Not because you're ready, but because hiding has become more painful than failing. I remember the first time I stopped running. I was sitting in front of a blank document feeling that familiar ache. The temptation to quit, to open another tab, to promise myself I'd try again tomorrow. But something in me whispered, this is the moment, not tomorrow. Now, and I didn't write a masterpiece. I wrote one paragraph, but I wrote it honestly. And it was enough to break the spell. That's what Kierkegaard means when he says you must choose yourself. Not your image, not your fantasy, your actual self. The flawed, trembling, imperfect person who is still capable of meaning. Not because they're certain, but because they dared to choose anyway. And this is where procrastination ends. Not with a technique, but with a truth. You don't need more time. You need more courage. Because procrastination is not a delay, it's a disguise. And when you remove it, painfully, honestly, what's left is the raw material of your own life. So if you really want to stop procrastinating, don't look for control. Look for clarity. Face the fear. Name it. Walk through it. Choose. Not someday. Not when you're ready. Now.